Hello, my name is Irmeli, and I will be one of the tour guides on your field trip to Finnish higher education and vocational teacher education. I have more than 15 years of experience as a teacher trainer, both in our domestic programs and in our export of education programs in countries like Colombia and South Africa. Export of education programs are based on the Finnish 60 credit point training, but they are tailor-made to especially suit higher education teachers. My personal interests at the moment are learning design for any learning environment, be it contact teaching, online teaching, blended teaching, or hybrid, where the teacher has at the same time a local audience and an audience who attends from home online. I'm interested in increasing student participation during the workshops that we run online. So digital facilitation would be the name for that. And then as a mentor, I've lately experimented with cross-expertise mentoring, where we couple experts from different organizations and form mentor-mentee pairs. And this work shows some promising results. In this video, I will next talk a little bit about the way vocational teacher education program is implemented at Haaga-Helia School of Vocational Teacher Education. Vocational teacher education is an inquiry-based development program. This means that participants get to shape and develop their own work during the program. This is done through a personalized study path. The mentor and the participant meet in PDP discussions where they discuss the requirements of the program, what the participant wants to focus on, and they make agreements of the goals and the ways to reach the goals. What is interesting is that the program, although it's personalized, it's not individualized. It's carried on in teams. We also have competence badges, digital competence badges, where we give instructions on how to demonstrate the competence, and when the participant claims for a badge, he can then post this digital certified badge on his CV. Let's have a look.
This inquiry-based development cycle is run several times during the program. When a new theme comes up, the participants first position themselves. What competence do I already have in regard to the requirements? What is out there already? After that, they define their own development goals so that they are aligned with the competence requirements of the program, their personal interests, but also the strategies of the school in which they work. Next step is getting familiar with the phenomenon in theory and in practice. This is done together with the team members. Teams discuss literature in study circles, are critical friends to each other by reviewing, for instance, how learning outcomes are defined in lesson plans. Does the course design offer a balanced mix of learning types? How will the chosen assessment methods capture the learning outcomes? Peers also observe each other and design activities together. Each module involves experimentation. In teaching practice, the participants can choose their focus area. For instance, some want to increase collaboration with the industry. Some choose to strengthen inclusiveness and accessibility of their courses. Others test flipped classroom, build online implementation of a course that was originally only offered face-to-face, and so on. In Module 3, Teacher as an Active Citizen, the teams can arrange seminars and workshops for the community, run entrepreneurship events, offer career mentoring clinics, It's amazing how much work the participants are willing to put into the projects when they find them meaningful. One important part of the process is sharing the outcomes, not only within the teacher training community, but also in each participant's own work environment. During teacher training, the participants collect a competence portfolio, select items for display, and share them using a variety of digital tools. For a busy colleague, the threshold to check out a poster, a 3-minute video, a leaflet on a coffee room table, or a web page is much lower than it is to read a 20 pages long report. Although I now describe the steps one after the other, the inquiry-based development cycle is not a linear process. The arrows aim to depict that there is a lot of going back and forth between the steps during the process.
We have altogether 9 competence requirements for the program. They are loosely connected to the study units, the modules that we had in the program. But sometimes people mix and match. One way of getting familiar with what these criteria mean for me is that we make the participants play a game of competence criteria.
The vertical axis runs from not quite as important to important, and the horizontal axis from a lot to develop to not that much to develop. This forms a quadrant. On the top there are competence cards. Instructions for the participants are: familiarize yourself with the criteria cards. What is your own competence in regard to the competence requirements and competence criteria? Put the cards on the quadrant one by one and tell why you think the card belongs to the chosen corner. At the end, take a screen capture and include it in your PDP.
Now that all participants are familiar with the competence requirements, it's time for the first version of PDP, Personal Development Plan. We sometimes use this table as a tool for that. So in the first column, one can see the competence requirements. In the next one, more detailed competence criteria. And in the third column, the participant gets to draft the first version of how, where, and when he or she is going to develop and demonstrate this particular competence. At this stage, the plan is still quite preliminary. It's like a world map, not very detailed. But the further the studies go, the more detailed the plan becomes. I have already discussed quite a few activities that teams do together, but there's one more I want to bring up, and that's co-teaching. The teams design and facilitate together an interactive workshop for other participants in the program. Prior to COVID, this used to be either face-to-face or online, but during the past year, all the workshops have been online workshops. If a teacher is used to teaching alone in a classroom, it's a big leap to start co-teaching and online. That's why this activity has been an invaluable learning experience for many of our participants. And it's fair to say that their digital competence and interaction skills have improved in this co-teaching experiment. There are 6 digital competence badges in this program. They are linked to the competence requirements in Module 2. It's not obligatory for a participant to claim a badge. There are those who think that the added value from a competence badge is not enough to warrant the extra work it takes to claim a badge. But then there are those who find it's good new modern opportunity, both to demonstrate competence to future employers, but also that the competence badge process actually helps navigate through the whole teacher training. If you are interested in learning more about these competence badges, I will provide a link below the video so that you can have a closer look. Thank you for taking the tour with me. I'm really looking forward to meeting you all in the workshop in about a week. Until then, goodbye.